Gentlemen, welcome to Watch History, the unboxing of the AE1600 by Casio. Guaranteed to be chaotic, so hang on to your butts. Here we go. The Casio AE1600 ensconced in a plastic baggie. Let's get it off of this perch. And would you look at that? Big, huge numbers. And we have some sectioning off of the screen. Dots, lots of tiny dots. It reminds me of graphics on an Apple 2GS where, you'd shade stuff in by adding dots. We have dots at the top and the bottom, and we have those seconds ticking away. Is the time correct? Well, let's compare it to the DWH5600. No, it's not even in the right time zone. It's way off, but it doesn't matter, okay? We can set it easily with this. Look at this button right here. Big old metal button. I'm holding it down. Let's see those giant numerals blink. And here we are. Okay, all this box is about to chime for the top of the hour in just a few seconds. You guys are witness to that too. Did you guys hear all that beeping? Anyways, I probably should have been on top of, now it's only just a few seconds behind. Anyways, you get the point, right? Setting this is as easy as pressing these gigantic buttons. Wait a minute. What's that? That's not a button. It's a fool's button. You get 1, 2, 3 buttons, a fool's button. Oh yes, the light button, front and center. So you have that front and center light, and look, we get 2 amber LEDs to illuminate this AE1600. One iteration above the AE1500. Where is the AE1500? There we go. Side-by-side comparison. And, we'll do like a more in-depth comparison in another video. But ordering this, here's the story. I just went to Casio.com and happened to see it there. I purchased it, had it rush delivered. It would not let me buy the blue one with a negative screen. I was actually going to buy, all 3 of them. Why not, But I couldn't buy the negative screen. And then, so I bought just this one, had it rush delivered, so it would be here today. And then earlier today, I tried to see if it would let me buy the negative screen. It wouldn't let me buy any of them. So I don't know what is going on, but let's take a look at this band. Hold on. My daughter busted open the door. Like I said, my unboxings are chaotic. My baby daughter busted open the door and is causing more chaos in the hallway. I have to shut this door because there's a limited amount of chaos. Even chaos from Greek mythology would think that some of this is a little too much here in the background of my unboxing videos. But that's just the way it is on the Jim Kincaid YouTube channel. All right, so where were we? This band. All right, so is this band as long as the AE1500? Oh, look, we have a single tang buckle. It's plastic. The tang's plastic, the buckle's plastic. We have a keeper that, is just resin material. We have these ratcheting notches to keep your keeper. I call them keepers. They're there. Kind of scratchy. Not as comfortable as these brand new fine metallic series from G-Shock with a silicone inside. They have the keepers, but these are silicones. Very comfortable. And of course, I just unboxed this recently, and now I have a surprise watch to unbox, which is it's a good thing to have a surprise watch to unbox. This is not that expensive. I can't remember how much it was. I want to say $35, but don't hold me to that. Not quite as cheap as the AE1500, which you can buy at Walmart and Amazon for really cheap. In fact, I'll even throw a link in the description for this one where you can buy it, for $20-something in the United States. So this one costs a little bit more, but we will make a value comparison between these two later on. Right now, AE1600, that's what we're looking at. Okay, so anyways, looking at the face, let me grab the official pointer pen, the mini bolt action pen by Right in the Rain. Perfect size for your hand or pocket. You can buy this one. I'll leave a link in the description. All right. So anyways, we have a little bit of an animation here as a second stick away, right? Gigantic numbers, which is the main selling point of these AE1500 and now the AE1600, right? The day of the week, the date, that's fantastic. Oh, we could switch between 24-hour clock or 12-hour clock with the press of this button, which I'm going to be honest, kind of annoying because this button is so prominent that we'll see, but it could be pressed accidentally. This, like, you know, regular Casio watches, their buttons are not as protected as G-Shock buttons, all right? So moving on. Next, we have a beep that between the mode of the main time mode and the alarm. So look at the bottom here. These are the alarms. Can you go through them? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 alarms. And this must be the hourly time signal. Can we turn it on? It is on. And now we have the hourly time signal bell letting us know that, you know, at the top of the next hour, it will beep. So you guys might as well hang on. We'll keep this review going till the top of the next hour, and we'll hear even more watches beep. All right, and the timer. Now, I believe that it's a 24-hour timer. I don't know that for sure, but I believe I read it was 24 hours. Oh, and I'm just noticing there's screws here. Do these screws do as much as this button? I should take out my Klein tool set and see if I can find a screw that would unscrew this, because I've never seen a screw head that is like that. Some alien technology, or maybe these are just dummy screws. I think we know the answer. All right, stopwatch. Oh, wow, and get this, we have 1/100ths of a second. We do not see the time right now displayed on the stopwatch, but we have the stopwatch going. We have, whoa, look at this animation right here. Oh, and I just noticed it says right here 5 alarms, in case you didn't believe me. 5 alarms, and it looks like if when we put on the alarms that they would be have the little dots there to let us know, right? Let's just turn on an alarm for midnight. I can change the mode while the stopwatch is running. Let's turn on alarm 1. Oh no, this is the hourly time signal. Oh, now, all right. I'm confusing myself. This is really dangerous for me to be playing around with a complex digital watch while recording, but that is what happened. Anyways, this is the second time zone. It looks like it's set totally independently from the main time zone, which we're back on. All right. Oh, let me just go to the alarm. Go to the alarm, and let's move to alarm 1, and let's turn it on. There we go. All right, I just wanted to show you that LCD bar that shows that alarm 1 is on. It will chime at midnight, which is perfect, just what I want. So that's what we have for this watch. And you have to set the second time zone all by itself. You don't actually set what time zone it is. You have to set the time and then go to the second time zone and set it. I set it for the same time so that I don't confuse myself if I have accidentally on the wrong mode. But the main time has a date and the day, all right? And so, what else do you guys want to know about the AE1600? Let's just quickly compare its shape to the WS1700. Well, how about that? Do you remember me saying that they should take the AE1600, just take the big old numbers off of that? Where did my AE1600 go? I think I tossed it down here on the ground. Well, I tossed it into the box. It landed on the ground. Anyways, I said that they should take these big numbers off the AE1500 and just imagine what they'd be like on a body of the WS1700. Well, you don't need to imagine that anymore because that's exactly what we got. We don't have any of these intricate details of the WS1700 on the AE1600. We just have the big numbers of the AE1500 on the AE1600, and I like these dots, these dots that shade in the area. What do they call it? Hatch marks? What do they call that in screen printing? Like dithering? But yeah, they used to have this on the Apple 2GS. Do you guys remember that? You'd fill in an area, you wanted to shade it, it would actually be dots. And there are dots on the AE1500, but very faint. These are stronger dots, and I like that. It really does a lot to organize the information on the screen. All right. If you want an example of a screen that could use some of that, how about the Mudman, the GW9500? This is my favorite watch because of its durability, but I think it would do well to have these dots, because the screen is just, the information is not organized well with like background, dots or colors or whatever. You know that there are some ProTrack watches like this one. I have one, but I think it's dead. Yeah, I do. But see how this one has some dots where it's blinking charge? That would be where the day of the week and date is, but not enough batteries. You see how this is darker and has dots? The Mudman does not have the dots. Very faint dots. Very, very faint dots. Now that I look at it closely, maybe there is some contrasting green color. I've never noticed that before because it's so faint, but in the studio lights you can see it. This fantastic dots on the screen. It just adds a lot to quickly acquiring the time, because if your intention was seeing the time, the dots kind of allow this extraneous information to kind of melt into the background. Well, the time is very prominent because the screen behind it is clear. Okay, how would this screen look negative, as a negative LCD? Well, you know that I am a fan of legibility, and because of that, I generally do not like the negative LCDs that Casio puts on their watches. Some examples, well, where's the King? Maybe the King, all right, the King's dead. The King died again. The King's like the Phoenix, he just keeps on dying and has to be resurrected. I do have another watch that has a negative LCD that I just unboxed. You wouldn't believe it. I just unboxed this, and then this AE1600 came out. But look at that negative LCD. Very difficult to read, right? You have to hold it just right in the light. Okay, now that's a G-Shock. The question is the negative LCD on this the AE1600, will it be the same way? I don't know. The website wouldn't let me buy the negative LCD one. So it's probably a good thing for me that happened, because I've gone way overboard buying watches. They kind of hit all of a sudden. So this chaotic unboxing will actually be uploaded right away. So because so many guys are interested in seeing what the AE1600 is about, that the information on this watch will actually be delayed. At the time I recorded it, I was saying that the unboxing of this will occur in the future. So some subscribers may be confused, but most of my subscribers are intelligent enough. I think they can figure out what's going on. But anyways, the AE1600, let's try it on. Let's see if the wristband is long enough. It is, okay, not quite as long as the AE1600. The AE1600, I bought this one from Walmart. It has the Mega Extended Band. And so this one is just big enough for 8.5 inches on the wrist size. Okay, interesting. All right, and I'll compare them more in another video, because I think that I confused a lot of people because I bought this one off of Walmart. It has the double tang extended wristband, right? But this AE1600 on the website, on the Casio website, it says that it can go out to the wrist size of 215 millimeters around, which I think is actually less than 8.5 inches, because I believe that 8.5 inches is 220 millimeters. I'm no expert in the metric system by any means, but my wrist is just inside of 8.5 inches. I lost some weight and the Mudman like squished my wrist down, right? My right arm is still a full 8.5 inches. But anyways, big wristers, you should know that, in general, I think this would be good for big wristers, but since I'm so close to not being able to fit into it, I'd urge caution if you are, a mega big wrister, that you may still need the exceptionally large band of the AE1600 that is advertised as extended wristband, okay? Now, let's just look at this on the wrist. I think it looks great. I actually like this square look better than the AE1600. Let me cover the AE1600's ears so he doesn't hear me say that. But just look at that. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful screen. It's a beautiful shape. This really does combine the aesthetics of these two watches, the AE1500 and the WS1700, right? I think this is fantastic. How durable it is, how well does it hold up? Time will tell. There's only one way to find out. So we got to tough test this watch. But the buttons, okay, well, here's one improvement. The buttons of the AE1500, stick out in a similar way to the AE1500. I may have said that wrong. The buttons of the AE1600 are not like those on the WS1700, which look goofy. Just aesthetically, they kind of look goofy. They kind of look like cross-eyed maybe. But the thing is, practically speaking, I think it's better for them to be situated as they are to prevent accidental button presses. So just my gut would say that this is more conducive to accidental button presses. How many actually occur? I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. And we also I'll wear my work gloves and see how easy it is to press, right? And the light button too. Can you hit that light button with wearing work gloves? We will find out. But it's kind of a shell game with this light button. Let me take this off my wrist. I don't know how much you guys want to see my wrist, but anyways, you guys want to see the watch. So like it's kind of a shell game. Like a lot of times when you have that front and center light button on a watch, like let's just take the Rangeman GW 9400. This one already has a bunch of buttons, and so the dedicated light button being on the front is good because you don't have to remember which one is it. You don't have to hunt around. It's just kind of push here dummy type of thing. You need a PhD, push here dummy, right? And you have that light going. And so a similar thing happens on the AE1600. PhD, you need a PhD, push here dummy, right? I'm Dr. Button Presser, PhD. But like I said, it's a shell game. They moved the light button, so you still only have 4 buttons total, right? It's just a matter of where the light button is. The AE1500, the light button is top right, okay? And so they've moved it. And when you go back and forth between all these watches, at night you can get a little bit confused where the light buttons are. For example, this watch, the fine metallic GW 5600 Y MG, the light button's actually the bottom right, which is not the case on most other G-Shocks. It's usually the top right. So you kind of get used to pressing the top right if there is no center button. Well, you don't even really have to think about it on the AE1600. It's just that front and center light button, right? And we'll do some more tests to see how well it shows up at night, because under the studio light, just looking at the actual LEDs, they do not seem to be the most robust, high lumen output LEDs, but there are 2 of them, and it probably will do the trick. But like I said, only one way to find out. So stay tuned for that video, because I've been so excited about the AE1600. We're really going to prioritize this one with all the different tests, the tough tests, the button presses, the button pressing with gloves, and the light, the transient light, Like, how well does this look in low light conditions? I suspect it will look really well because the AE 1500 is such a good performer in low light situations where, you know, you could just tilt the watch just to catch any sort of ambient light, even when it was dusk, and you could read the time. That's what I really loved about it because, you know, driving a Peterbilt, you know, there may not be a whole lot of light out there in the West Texas landscape, but just whatever light there was, even the light of the moon or the light of the stars, like Venus. Venus is brilliant. It's very bright right now while I'm recording this. In fact, I could run outside right now and, you know, I'd probably need my pit vipers to look at Venus. That's how bright it is. But, you know, it could illuminate the whole face of this watch. And since this has the same kind of attributes, you know, I might be able to read the AE1600 by the light of Venus. Have any of you guys noticed how bright Venus is? Have you actually gone outside at night to do some stargazing? It's really easy to find Venus. Just look for a star that's exceptionally bright, you know? Anyways, that was kind of a tangent. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, bezel protection. The bezel is raised all the way around, very shallow on the sides. Now, we have a raised portion at the top, okay, to provide extra protection. Will it be enough? Okay, because the AE 1500 has crenellations. It has several other lumps of protection, making it more like the Mudman GW 9500. It has those protective lumps, those futuristic barnacles, as the Mad Watch Collector called them. Well, they serve a purpose. They protect the bezel and allow drainage. How will the drainage be on the AE 1600? Will it siphon off water? Well, like I said, these side bezels are really shallow. They could probably allow drainage and just enough protection. That's what I'm guessing. Of course, we'd have to test it out, right? And we have button guards here that are actually shorter than the buttons. Interesting. I believe that these are fake screws. I mean, how would they even screw them in? Where have you ever seen a screwdriver that shape? All right, how many accordions do we have in the band? We have one. And since the band is not that flexible, they look like decorative accordions, right? You get two in a G-Shock. And there's a little more flexibility in a G-Shock band. The AE 1500 only has one. But anyways, no dimples. We have dots. Dimples are reserved for G-Shocks. The best you can hope for in a Casio is you know, a dash. I guess you call it a dash. Dashes or dots. It's Morse code over there at the Casio design team. All right, and like I said, one tang. And we have ample holes, or the holes, looks like fewer holes, slightly fewer holes on the AE 1600 than the AE 1500. Looks like they're spaced apart a little bit more, at least on this version of the AE 1500 that I have. Again, this is the extended wristband. One of the commenters said that the AE 1500 that he got had a different band and it only had one tang, so maybe it wasn't this extended wristband one. But us big wristers, you know, we need this one. So, and no holes on this side, no vents. So we'll see how ventilation is on the AE 1600. And I am excited to have this. So stay tuned for all of the tough tests of this watch, and don't forget about the review of this watch and the chaotic unboxing of this watch. All right, so it's out of order. I hope you guys aren't confused. Gentlemen, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him. I'm Jim Kincaid. Thanks for watching.